what does winning in life mean to you?
Okay, I like this. You just got me. I need to sit and tell you about winning in life because people think it's about metrics. For example, a content creator will think it's about followers, it's about 1 million followers. I don't see life like that. I think winning is about not just doing what you're doing, but enjoying it. Because you're in this
100%.
life to fulfill your purpose as well as live it. I won't say enjoy, live and fulfill your purpose. So for me, winning is not just because right now I'm a small business and someone might go, it's just a small business. Yes, that's how you see it. But for me, it's huge because it has built me in a lot of ways. It has built my resilience. It has built a lot of skills in me that I can take anywhere and I'll be valid. If I decide to step down as a director and go to another place, I'll be fine. And I'm not saying this is not me boasting, I'll be all right. So winning for me is not just doing what you're doing and counting numbers or this. No, if you're making an impact, you're winning. If you're enjoying what you're doing, you're winning. If you're living, you're winning. If you're doing it, you're winning. If you even thought of doing it and then you did it, you've won.
Check this out.
Okay.
I look good.
Okay.
On the street and I got my swag on.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Kanayo's Corner. It's a hot, hot day in the UK, and I've got someone on the show tonight. This is Chiamaka. She saw an episode of Kanayo's Corner, and she reached out to me to be a guest on my show. So, Chiamaka, you're welcome. I appreciate your interest in wanting to join this show and basically to share your story. So, I'm just going to let you introduce yourself to the guests. Obviously, I don't know much about you. This is the first time that we've met. Yeah. So do you want to tell us who you are and what you do?
Yes, definitely. So, hello everyone. My name is Chiamaka Ebolue. I am the founder and director of Amass Leads Limited here in the UK. And I think we'll start from there. And then as we talk, we'll go into that more.
Yeah. So what exactly is Amass Limited? Is it like a business you started or, so just tell us more about that.
Okay, so we are diving right in. That's fine.
Yes,
So
we're diving right in.
Amass Leads Limited is a digital marketing and analytics company that I incorporated here in the UK. So what do? We do digital marketing services for
Okay.
service-based business, specifically the plumbers, electricians, handymen, people that are into the trades business. So that's what we do. But when I say digital marketing, it looks like blah, 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 all those things that other people do. We actually do AI specific digital marketing services for the trades business. I would elaborate more on that later.
So when you say digital marketing, so like what exactly does that mean? Like do you sort of like advertise for these people online? So what exactly is digital marketing?
Okay, so for what we do, we design websites, we
Okay.
edit, we design websites. So we do search engine optimization. That means Google search, that means Bing searches. We do social media management as well, and we run ads for these people. So we do a system where we synchronize all of this to get leads for this set of people. We synchronize the website, the social media, and
Okay.
we run ads so that they get leads. So as you know, it's more of tech. So now what we do is as we're doing it, we are also building you for the future. So what we do is we are positioning your business on the digital space using your unique services, the things you offer that are unique to you. So we use that to position your business in the digital space. Now look at it like you have a shop, right? In the physical world. So what we are doing is we put your shop in the online space and we highlight those things that you do the best so that you get the people that are meant for you and not just everyone. So that's why I said, if I say digital marketing, it will look like, oh, all those things, we run random ads, random. No, we have a strategy, we have a system, and we have the people. We have the people we are after. We're not just for everyone. So that's Amass Leads Limited in a nutshell.
Fantastic. I mean, we can come back to more of that, but let's go back to the beginning. How did this all come about? How did this start? What's your story, your journey? How did this like come to be?
Okay, Amass Leads Limited's journey. I like this part a lot because it takes
Okay.
me back. I have
Yeah.
nostalgia and everything. So, I came to the UK. Let's start from the very, very beginning. As a student, of course, I did leadership and management course in the University of Worcester. And while I was doing that, because I've always been the business kind of person, I've always loved businesses, and not just any business, it has to be tech based
Okay.
business. I have a background in information science, so I'm more of a tech person. I started back home, then we moved to Dubai, and I was still on it by the side while I was working in Dubai. So over here, while I was studying, I began a data analytics course. I'm familiar with data management from being in school, my degree outside and everything. But data analytics was like the advanced part of it. So I went into that. I trained with Google and I also trained with IBM. So when I finished my course, I wanted to go fully into data analytics. So now if I tell you, yes, I got a job in data analytics and it was so easy, I just got the job like this, then I'm a liar. And that's not what I'm here for. So it was a bit of a challenge. I know the companies I wanted to pitch to or work for. And it was, if you know about job searching here, it's a different issue altogether. So I had like 2 months while I was doing my training. I was already sending out CVs. I used Indeed and everything. And there's a particular company I pitched to. They didn't reply. And I said, I know I want to do this. So I went to them. I went to see the
Wow.
director and I said,
Really?
yes, I had to go. And it so happens that this is where I started or I fell into the trades business, like marketing for the trades business. Because when I went to this company, this is a plumbing and gas industry. Okay.
Okay.
So at that time, I wasn't particular about which, but I just said, I want to do this. And I started looking for companies that are easier for me to access. And I went to him and I said, I did submit a CV through your website and all of those stuff. And I'm a data analytics. I can help you. And I remember what he said was, he was sitting and he said, what are you analyzing? I don't need analytics in my company. And I'm like, because I thought once you finish your tech, it's all about just go in there,
Yeah.
start your analytics. But he said something. He said, what I actually need is for my business to be out there. And I said, yes, I can do that. And that's what he was talking about is digital marketing. And I said,
Right.
yes, I can do that. I can do that. Have you done digital marketing services before? I said, not really, but I have a little experience in sales. And so to cut the long story short, we had a little bit of to and fro. And I said, because I'm a data analyst, I can even analyze these things for you and tell you not just about digital marketing, but what we can do more and what we can do less. So I think that was the angle that gave me that job. Now it wasn't a full job; it was an internship. So
Okay.
it was stressful but it was worth it. So that's how I slid in gently into, in fact, I think it forged the path towards me because while I was working with them, because it was an internship, I was in my mind saying, now I'm generating leads for these people with my own ideas. Because that there wasn't like a position, a vacancy. It's basically I created it myself. So I said, if I
Right.
can do this for you, then I can also do it for myself. So this is where the story of Amass Leads Limited comes in because it's easy.
Okay.
We all know it's very easy to open a business here in this country. It's running it that is actually the issue. So it was easy for me to
Yeah.
register. And
Okay.
um, that's the beginning of the story. So I registered, I incorporated a company. I had no customer, by the way, but that's the beginning.
Okay, I think right. So when you reached out to me, right, I was interested in having this conversation because I want the viewers to, to sort of understand what the process is for, for registering a business or for even thinking about starting a business and all of that. Because I say this because Worcester is it's sort of like a university
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
I run a football club here in Worcester, so we've got so many of my players who are students or who were students, and so I'm sure that they'll be keen in listening to what you have to say. If there's anything you can teach them, guide them as to to
Oh,
running a business, to start the business and running it, and that's why I wanted you to come on this show. Really, yeah, and you're doing just that, you know what I mean? But do you want to name the so maybe you don't want to, but do you want to name the name of the company you did your internship with, or you rather not?
I'd rather not, please.
That's fine. No, that's
I'd
fine.
rather not. So, actually, I was excited, and I still am. I wanted to do this because part of my purpose in this life is someone that believes in unity. Like, if I'm moving, I want others to hop on. That is, if it's your passion. I don't just want you to do it because of maybe COS or maybe this. I want you to enjoy it because the process is excruciating. Like, it's something that at some point you'll be like, no, I'm not doing this. If you don't have that passion, that zeal to actually do it. So when I saw it, I said, no, I'm going to be on this show and I'm going to tell it as it is. I'm not here to tell you all this motivational quote is all in
Okay.
your mindset, dream to acquire, to pursue, to acquire. No, I'm not
No,
doing
no,
that. I don't know what I just said now, but I'm not here
no, we
for the
get it.
motivation. I will tell it as it is and from my own word, from my own perspective. So now you can use that to judge for yourself whether it fits
Right.
and how you can navigate something like this. So, the first thing you talked about is it starting a business or
Yeah.
okay,
So like
tell me
thinking
that.
about it, like, like maybe doing your research on the processes and, and how to actually start. So obviously you run a business now, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So how did you start it from the very beginning? How did Amass actually come to be?
Okay. So as I told you, it's more of passion
Yeah.
mixed with yeah, it's basically it started with passion, the drive, of course, but I was already in the system because I trained. I mean, without that training, I wouldn't have got one foot in. So it started, let's say it started with the training, but the passion was behind it. So when I started training, I think what I've always told myself in this life is let's go try so many things. Maybe by trying, you get that one thing that it is. So I know I'm into business, but I've also tried my hands in other things, blogging,
Okay.
writing, teaching. I've done teaching. I trained as in the University of Worcester. My course was in leadership and management in education.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. And that was a master's program, right?
That's a master's program.
All
But
right.
my degree is in information science. Okay. So, and before that, and even in that master's, I did special needs, like I did leadership and management research in leadership and management for special needs. So I like to try different things, but I've always
Okay.
known that I am a business focused woman, something like if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
if if you don't really know at let me not assume, but you can try a little bit of this and that. I think by dabbling, you'll be able to like pin on something. And one thing I can always say is don't wait till it's perfect because it's not going to be. You might just start. As I said, I started without a single customer. But you know what happened? I'm already in that field. So I made one or two contacts and then the people I was working for, I was sincere with them. I did my best for them. So they were able to give me, at least they say, oh, I know this lady, this is Amass Leads Limited. She worked for us and she's good. So I have that. Sorry, are you able to say something?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to jump in, right? So what was the process exactly of starting the company? So you have to, to
Okay, so
register the
first of
company,
all,
right?
re- okay, the company depends on the purpose for which you're opening that company. Some people would just start, then later register the company. Other people will just register the company. So for that, I paid I think it's around there's 50, 100, 150 pounds. I'm not very sure. I know I paid 100 pounds just to register the company because it's a tech
Okay.
company. I don't know if that price has increased now. So when you register it, when you incorporate it in company's house, you get all your the papers, incorporation papers. I mean, that's just it.
Yeah, okay,
That's
and
it.
anybody can
Register the company.
register.
The rest is on you. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, and anybody can register a company, right? You just go on the website. So is it gov.uk? What website is it? Do you know?
You
Do you
go to
remember?
you go to gov.uk. You can just go to Google and type register a company in the UK, and it takes you from there. And you can now select the category. But before you go, of course, you need to know what you're doing so that you don't get confused. So you need to know exactly, is it trading, is it tech, is it what. Then you put in all those information. It doesn't take more than I did it in my home. Although some people would go to a solicitor, go to someone or somewhere, but I did it in my home, and it didn't take more than. No, I think the process has changed now because they require verification. But that
Okay.
does, you just need to go to a post office or do it by yourself. So these things are changing. So that's why I
Yeah,
said,
absolutely. You
yes.
know, yeah. To be fair, I know how it's done, but I wanted to
Yeah,
ask that question. Yeah, for the viewers who might not know, but yeah, it's really easy. Just go on your Google, and just like punch in
typing.
how to register a company, and it just leads you on. Okay, so let's move on then. Okay, so you got your company, yeah, like registered, and you struggle to get customers at first, right?
Yeah, you should go for a bit. I don't know how long it will take. It depends on who and how you make your connections. If there's anything I've learned, I know I'm jumping into this, but it is here really. There's a mantra for Birmingham here. They said, "Be bold, be Birmingham," something like that. I don't know if like something related to this. So what I'm trying to say here is you have to be brave and bold
Mhm.
first before anything. I know I'm not, I said I won't do motivation, but it's necessary to say this. Yes. So you have to be
Okay.
bold to get your foot in.
Yeah,
So,
true.
the mindset matters. Okay. So when I started, I would tell you, to be honest, I didn't know what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing, but I started anyway. So the first few months, you're thinking it's all about ideas, right? And you have to think of a strategy. You need to be different. You can't be doing what every other person is doing.
Yeah.
So marketing comes in. If you're running a business, of course, we know that marketing is very important. But some people will not agree with that. It's not, yeah. So I'm a marketer, and I also need to prove to the people I'm marketing to that I have my own customers, then I can do for you what I am doing for myself. So I'll give you the nitty-gritty of it. What I did was, and this is me being sincere, I'm not holding anything back. You
Yeah.
have that first customer. Once you get that first customer, you make sure you do very right by that person. You know that process you used, you use it, it works. If it works and you use it for another person, even if you don't use it for another person, that first person documents everything step by step. And that's the testimonial you would use. Try to see if they will give you review also. For me, I already worked for someone. And then when I got the second person, even it became even clear that
Yeah.
this is working. And then I have a strategy, as I already told you, I have a system, I have a structure. So when you're talking to your client, so this is where, as a business person, there are so many things you need. You need communication, you need negotiation. First of all, you need to be brave. Then you need to know how to talk to people. You need to know how to negotiate terms. You need to know about sales. You need to know about marketing. And if you're going to have staff, you need to know about humans. I'm saying
True,
this just
true, true,
broadly. You need to know about humans. Let
true.
me
Of
just
course.
leave it at that. So,
Yeah.
if you ask me, as I said before, have that first person that you can use. It's just like saying, "Oh, I cut this person's hair," and you bring that person out and show, "This is what I did, and this is it for me, and this is the style. Do you like it? You do? I can do it for you." That's it for me. I don't know
Right.
about all the other people out there that will tell you, "We'll do this, we'll do it." I just present it like this. This is it. Do you like it? Then you're for me and for you. We are aligned. We can work together.
Right. Okay, let me ask you this, right? What mistakes did you make earlier on when you started, and what sort of lessons did you learn from that?
Okay, so which mistake should I talk about? Because there's a lot of them. First of all, I didn't even start early enough. I kept having, yes, I did start eventually, but I kept doing like, "Oh, should I start? But I don't have customers. How do I go about this?" But what I did that helped me with this one, I said, because it's more of decision friction, it's indecision. You don't know whether to start or not. I was browsing, I was trying to educate myself and tell myself, why I should. First of all, there's passion. You know you can do this. Yes, there's no evidence yet, but you know you can do it. So I started courses. I knew where I was lacking. For example, communication to start with. Sales. I wasn't really a salesperson, like into sales. My former job wasn't about talking to people, but now I'm doing it. And there's also the part of learning the details about the digital marketing, because the one I did, I just started off as a digital marketing. It wasn't the everything. So I know I needed to go in the, it doesn't happen in a day. So it's something, it's a continuous process. So first of all, if you're going to be in business, especially in this tech age, where every day there's loads, there's so
Mhm.
many things. So you have to be ready to always be learning, even in the midnights and all of that. And I think I just lost my train of thought. There was something I wanted to add when I said in this age of so many information. There's also the part of sacrificing social media. Before I used to be, before I used to be on there, not frequent, but now I've limited my time so much so that I could have time to learn, to be on YouTube, to watch things that would actually give me value and not just being into other people's lives.
Yeah.
So I cut that part out. Then the biggest one was even before I started my business, I did something. I knew I needed money to start up, and you know how the UK is. I talked about this in one show, how I started my business. And I said, as a lady, that I made the biggest sacrifice. What did I do? I stopped making my hair because I calculated the amount it takes me to every month. Like if it's two months, I have to make my hair every 2 months. I just figured like I can still pack my hair like this, and it's my natural hair, and I'm okay. Nobody is going to beat me outside, and it works for me because when you calculate, when I do it, for the 2 years that I saved up, even up till now, and sometimes I make my hair by myself, and it's really works for me, and I make the members of my family. So that's where the little finance came. But of course, marketing doesn't need so much money, but we need to
Okay.
start from somewhere. So I made that sacrifice, and it worked for me. The other ones were always training, courses, going out,
Okay.
meeting people, conferences, stuff like that. So
Okay.
I just said one
Yeah.
mistake, but it's fine. Yeah.
No, it's fine. Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing, it's very expensive to make your hair as a woman in the UK, right? Anyway, yeah, okay. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about this, right? So let's talk about immigration status and running a
Oh,
business,
my
because
favorite.
obviously you said that you came to Worcester and you studied as a student. You were doing your masters, right? And obviously you're Nigerian, so you came from Nigeria at some point, right?
Yeah.
So um obviously you were on a student visa whilst you were a student and you couldn't have had a business with that visa. Is that correct?
No, I couldn't have a business. I didn't have a business then. It
Okay,
was
so
in my
okay,
postgraduate.
so talk me through the process then. So how did you get your business started? How do you switch from your
Okay.
student visa to whatever visa it is that
Okay.
requires you to have a business? So just
Okay.
let the audience know what this
Walk you
um
through the
what this
process.
entails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a student, I was basically just training because I know I couldn't open or start a business. So it was when I switched to postgraduate visa that I registered
Okay.
my company. That was also when I got the internship I was telling you about. So it was
Oh yeah.
about 2, 3 months after that I started the business. So running it now, you
Right.
can see that I had like two, because postgraduate is 2 years, right? So I had a lot of time. I have 1 year, and so I didn't initially start with the intent that I'm going to sponsor myself because I
Right.
knew that business takes time, and I'm new in the UK. We want to talk about the struggles of an immigrant. This is one of them because you're coming from a new place, and there are so many experts out there, which is
Yeah.
why I talked about being unique in your strategy so that the people that will accept you, and that's fine till you grow. So I knew that I'm new here, so I didn't bank so much on using that for self sponsorship, but it was there. It was an option. And I was already working for a company. I was looking for other places where I could work. For me, it was an experience. So going from there, I was asking questions. Is it possible for me to sponsor? Like, let me guide you through the process. If, for example, I'm talking to you now and you're looking for
Mm-hmm.
COS, you're looking at self sponsorship, let me just talk through that so that I'm not everywhere, I'm not generalizing. So
Yeah.
I talked to a few people. I'm someone that once I know where I'm going, I start asking questions, doing research. working on that. So while I had other options, I was asking questions. I asked a lot of people. I met 5 lawyers in this process, five
Okay.
different lawyers from different people. And I would say 3 that I know were immigration lawyers. And the 2, I don't know if they were really registered, but they like help with business processes like this. So, in this, you have to be careful because the wrong information can lead you down the water loop. So while I was asking that question, I was gauging by myself, is this something you will hear different? Trust me, you will hear different explanations. Oh, no, you need to do it like this. No, you need to add your company as a franchise. No, you need to tell people to pump money into the company. And a lot of people, you need at least 40,000 pounds to be able to show the home office that you can run the company and all of those stuff. So it was excruciating. It was depressing. It was frustrating because you're going from one lawyer to the next. First lawyer said, no, 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 you cannot do it. I don't see any strategy in this business. I don't see any viabilities. You don't even have customers. That was the first person. I got discouraged. I went back and I said, okay, let me just be running the business while I'm looking for other things. Second lawyer said, okay, you can do it, but as self-sponsorship, but you have to do it by linking with, it looked illegal. I said no. I
Okay.
didn't even get his name because it was mushy, mushy, mushy. And I said, I'm not doing this. There was a third one. What did the third one say? He said it wasn't possible. Self-sponsorship is closed. And there's the fourth one. The fourth one said something similar to putting it under a franchise. They will help you with it. They will help you to build up the business. And then there was a way they explained it. I don't want to go into that. So it was the fifth lawyer that actually said, okay, this is what you have. We are going to use what you have and present it to the home office like that. If you get your COS, you get your COS. If you get your
Yeah.
license, you get your license. And that's what we did. Exactly as the company was, with the few customers I had, with the online presence I had, everything, the way the company is, that's how we presented it to home office. And what do you know? It took a while. The process took me 3 months. And that's because they were questioning. Because as I said, it wasn't, I didn't do everything to make it perfect or anything. It was just the way it was. So they had questions. But at the end of the day, they saw that there is potential in this business. And they said, why not?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they
Yeah.
said, why not?
Absolutely.
So I got the license. So that's it. Then you start applying for COS. The lawyer will guide you through this. I'm not qualified. And
No,
whatever
that's
I'm
fine.
saying now, yes, it's just my experience. So
Yeah.
the process of business license, I didn't do it alone. I had a lawyer who helped me, but I also had because I was doing my own part. He's doing his legal part. I am doing my part in building the business. The business plan I wrote was the way I wanted it to be. I presented everything the way it needed to be. And I followed everything step by step. So the lawyer was doing his
Right.
part, I was
Yeah.
doing my own. So that's how we
Right.
got to a business license. And then the COS, you follow the process as well. And that leads you
Yeah, that's fine.
towards
Yeah.
self-sponsorship. Yeah. Then also you can sponsor yourself as a director, not as an employee, as some people would say, no, you need to step down. No, you can be the director. You give yourself a position you're the director, but you give yourself, for example, I give myself the position of a business analyst, but I'm recognized as the director. So you need a British citizen to be the second director. And that's basically it.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, you've mentioned COS. I'm sure people who are watching know what that is. It means your certificate of sponsorship, sort of like a legal framework for you to have a visa to stay in the UK. But let me ask you 2 questions in one now, Amaka. One is that um, do you think that Nigerians in the UK are now being more entrepreneurial? That's one question. And then the second question is, what would you advise to Nigerian students in the UK right now who are thinking of starting a business or something?
Okay, so as I said earlier, I don't know about any other person, but for me, be brave and have passion for what you're about to do because the business pathway is full of struggles. So I think these 2 things would help you. First of all, know what you want to do. Be brave about it. Be really, really brave about it, and then go. Don't wait till it's perfect. If it's something you know you want
Yeah.
to do, so just go into it. If you've ever thought of tech, and you can start by researching, okay, what kind of tech am I looking at? What am I fond of doing? What do I like? What do I have the tendency to like? Maybe that would help you guide your path into it. So, as I said earlier, my advice to you would be, first of all, have passion for what you're about to do. I think basically, generally in life, I would say have passion for wherever you
Yeah.
are so that you can enjoy it. As well. Of course, you, Kanayo, you're enjoying your podcast. You enjoy doing this. Otherwise, you won't. There are times you'll be like, oh, why should I even do this? Why should I even get out
Yeah.
of the bed? And it's the passion that will move you. You stand up and say, no, I'm definitely doing this. So the business pathway will hit you front, back, center. We have difficult, let me not say difficult clients, but being here as an immigrant and there are loads of other marketers here, it's really hard. And I said this during my business license interview. I was explaining to them, I told them it's a lot of struggle for me because I'm like a foreign person. So why would they trust me? I'm not this person that looks
Yes.
familiar, seems to know the culture and everything. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, you keep pushing it. So please be brave, be bold, be Birmingham.
Yeah, be bold. Okay, so the first part of the question was, so do you think that Nigerians in the UK now are now being more in tune with business, like being more entrepreneurial and being more
So,
ambitious? Do you think that?
so what I know about Nigerians, and this is not me being biased because I'm in Nigeria, we are resilient. We are resilient. We are strong. We have mind. Like when you say someone has mind, the person has mind. A lot of people are interested. But where the confusion starts or where we get cold feet is when we don't know the information, the process. Whatever you want to do and you don't know, you don't have any information about it. I know I struggled myself. So I know that's where some of us might be having that, meh, and then the stress of maybe you're working and all of those to come out from that work or to
Yeah.
actually invest. And then again, the finance, which for finance, if I can say a little about this, you can get grants, but this will be for another. As I said here, you need to have negotiation skills. You need to know how to talk to people, how to email people. These are very, very important. You need to understand that the Brits are very nice people if you know how to talk to them. And I'm not saying this for them to be happy or anything. This is just my experience. If you know how to work with them, they are really people that you can assess. There's nothing like, oh, it's favoritism or this. No, I've been there. I know. So,
Fantastic.
by the way, what was I saying before I moved to something else? I've lost it.
Yeah, so we're talking about Nigerians in
They
the
can
UK, like
do it.
being more entrepreneurial. Yeah. Well, so I think they are though. Okay. Before we start to wrap up the show, right? On this show, I always say that life is like a game of football and we
Yeah.
play to win. Obviously, this is a football channel, but we're talking about life,
Yes.
mindset, and what it takes to
Yes.
win off the pitch.
Yes.
Now, from your business, like history and all you've learned, right? What does what does winning in life mean to you?
Okay. I like this. You just got me. I need to sit and tell you
Yeah.
about winning in life because people think it's about metrics. For example, a content creator will think it's about followers, it's about 1 million followers. I don't see life like that. I think winning is about not just doing what you're doing, but enjoying it. Because you're
Yeah,
in this
100%.
life to fulfill your purpose as well as live it. I won't say enjoy, live and fulfill your purpose. So for me, winning is not just because right now I'm a small business. And someone might go, oh, it's just a small business. Yes, that's how you see. But for me, it's huge because it has built me in a lot of ways. It has built my resilience. It has built a lot of skills in me that I can take anywhere and I'll be valid. If I decide to step down as a director and go to another place, I'll be fine. And I'm not saying this is not me boasting. I'll be all right. So winning for me is not just doing what you're doing and counting numbers or this. No, if you're making an impact, you're winning. If you're enjoying what you're doing, you're winning. If you're
Yeah,
living, you're winning. If you're doing it, you're winning. If you even thought of doing it and then you did it, you've won. So yes, that's winning for me. And by the way, since you mentioned
fantastic.
football, I'm an Arsenal fan. And
Oh.
we just won.
I
And
mean,
I've been a fan
if
for
you,
22 years, and people have been bantering. They slid into my
oh my
DM
days,
after 22 years. And you know what I said? It's 22 years of consistency. It's 22 years of
oh
determination. It's
man,
22 years
I don't
of
need to
doing
hear
this.
this.
So there's nothing you're
I'm,
telling me.
yeah, I mean, if you had told me that you were an Arsenal fan, I probably wouldn't have got you on this show. Oh man, oh no. Anyway, but congrats to you guys
Yeah,
too. You're just kidding.
it has
Okay,
to
now,
come that.
yeah, no, congrats to you guys. I mean, I'm not an Arsenal supporter in any way. I'm a Man United supporter, but you guys, congrats to you. But let me ask you this, right? So before we wrap the show up completely, now, what's next for Amass? So what's next for your company? Like, where do you see your company in the next 2 years, the next 3, 4, 5 years,
Yeah.
whatever?
So Amaz is always moving. All about ideas. I mean, ideas are what rules the world. You can't just sit and keep doing the same thing over and over again. At some point, everything changes. The market changes. Policies changes. People change. So you need to be always out there. You're reading. You're researching. You're tuning, fine tuning, changing things. So for me, Amass Leads Limited now, I am going into software as a service, but I'm not going to talk about it in details now because we don't talk about our plans like that. You know what
Yeah,
you
of
want
course,
to do,
that's fine.
and then you
That's
work
fine.
on it. But I know that I want to establish a Mass Lease Limited as even a bigger company than it is now. It's not going to be a small business forever. It's not going to be a baby forever. It needs to keep growing. Me too, I'm growing everywhere, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So it needs to
Yeah.
grow as I grow. So yes, I have that vision. And as we even go more, I even have more plans I don't want to disclose right now.
No, that's fine. So if anyone is watching this and want to get in touch with you to maybe to sort of pick your brains on starting a business or whatever it is, are you open to have people like like reach out to you? And if so, how can they contact you?
Okay, so yeah, that's fine. I would send you a Google link if they want to have a no strings attached clear conversation. Maybe they
Yeah.
want to start something or they want to understand something that I haven't touched here. Then we can have it could be just a 15-minute talk and we can start from there. I'm open to that, of course. And that's part of the reason I even came on the show. Yeah.
Right, that's fine. Okay, Chiamaka, thank you for joining this show. Thank you for sharing your story, your thoughts. Before I let you off, any final thoughts or final words to the viewers?
Be brave.
There you go, then. Be brave. Right. Thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate the
you
time
so much
you've
for having
spent
me. Thank you. I
in
had
doing this.
fun. Thank you so much.
Yes, okay. And for anyone who's watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until the next episode, take care of yourself and each other.
Okay.
Bye now.
Bye.